Hi there. My name's Carter,
My name's Ethan.
and this is the first podcast that we plan on doing. Why are we doing a podcast? I don't know, Ethan. Why are we doing a podcast?
I have no idea.
I think it's because when we talk, it sounds like we're doing a podcast,
And everyone's doing a podcast.
and everyone's doing a podcast. Why is everyone doing a podcast? I don't know that either. It's weird. Podcasts are weird.
People just like hearing other people talk about their lives, so they don't have to think about their lives.
I think that's it. I think that's why podcasts exist. But they recently spiked. They're way more popular now,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I remember watching YouTube, and no one had a podcast. And now every YouTuber and their mom has a podcast.
That's true. They do. It's weird. I was never one for podcasts, until recently. Now that, I'm seeing so many people, I'm like, well, now I have to watch podcasts because they're everywhere. And if I don't watch podcasts, then I am, what's the word?
Irrelevant.
Kicked out of society. So, podcasts are you have to do a podcast or listen to a podcast or you're shunned. So that's why we're here today.
Exactly.
In order to maintain our status.
And maintain our status on the top.
Yeah.
Maintain our status as our 13,000 follower TikTok pages.
13,000 followers on TikTok.
13,000 follower TikTok.
Yeah. I'm on TikTok, I guess. I'm not famous, though.
So how did you get that many followers?
How did I get that many followers? Let me tell you a little story.
Okay.
It all started in, January.
Mm.
I was like, holy, Instagram has a lot of TikTok memes, and they're kind of good. And then I was like, well, instead of scrolling through Instagram and finding TikTok memes, why don't I scroll through TikTok and find TikTok memes? Because they're good. So I downloaded TikTok, and I was like, this is stupid. What am I doing with my life?
That's how I feel about everything.
Me too. And then I was like, what if I try making some of my own? And then I started filming. I was like, hey, it's kind of fun. And nothing ever happened. I was getting no likes, and I felt really stupid. And I never shared my videos with anyone. Occasionally with my friends, but I would never tell them what my TikTok username was, so they couldn't go and find all of my videos. Then on April 23rd,
Wait, you know the fucking date?
Yeah, because I have it
Okay.
saved in my Snapchat memories.
Oh.
I was skateboarding with my friend Kieran, and we were like, hey, what if we make a little aesthetic skateboard video at sunset? And we were like, oh, that sounds like a good idea. So we went and did that, and then we recorded it, and nothing really happened for an hour or so, and we were like, okay, it's just the usual, nothing ever happens on our TikTok videos. Then we went home, and suddenly I'm like, oh shoot, it's getting hundreds of likes. How is this happening? My TikTok notifications are going crazy, and they're every second there's new stuff. I'm like, whoa, people are liking my thing. And then suddenly, oh man, I'm getting followers, and people are following me like crazy. And then by the time I started with 250 followers that day, it had taken me a months to get to 250. And then I was all of a sudden, now I'm at 300, 400, 500 within an hour, and I'm like, oh my god, what is happening? This is crazy. And then I think the next day at 10 in the morning, I hit 1,000, and I was like, within 12 hours, I had hit 1,000. I had gained 700 followers, and I was like, whoa. And now I could go live, and that was the coolest thing, because I was like, I want to be able to live stream on TikTok. And then now I go live on TikTok all the time. But then after that day, it was a slow increase. It spiked, I got to 1,000, and it slow, and then it died down really fast, and I was like, well, that was a one hit wonder, never gonna happen again.
Yeah.
And then I've been slowly but surely, slowly, every once in a while I would get a TikTok that would take a week or two, and it would maybe get 10,000, and I was like, oh, this is so cool, I'm getting a lot again. But it was nothing near that initial skateboard video. And then just recently, the last few days, I posted a video about the fact that TikTok now has an add text feature. And so I made a little joke about how people used to use the paper or marker and paper, and then people use Snapchat text, and then now there's TikTok text, and it's the ultimate. This is it. This is it. So I posted it, and then I woke up the next morning, and my TikTok was the very first TikTok on the top trending hashtag on the front page of TikTok.
Which is insane.
I never thought that would happen. So now that TikTok has over 40,000 likes, and I gained thousands of followers in a couple days, and then I posted another one about looking like Cowboy Perry. And that one is also now at 40,000.
Has it surpassed it yet?
It's surpassed 40. I think it's at 40K.
No,
now.
but has it surpassed the TikTok text one yet?
No, not yet. I don't think.
Okay.
Which then segues us into our other topic.
Is you looking like
Me looking like Kevboy Perry.
Yeah.
If you don't know who Kevboy Perry is, he's a guy on TikTok. He's pretty famous.
And he ended up commenting and following you, right?
He followed me a few days ago, or like last week, and then I posted the TikTok about how everyone says that I look like Kevboy Perry.
Mm-hmm.
And then he commented, conspiracy theory, we're siblings. And I was like, oh, this is it, boys.
And there
Kevboy Perry follows
wasn't there
me.
another guy too?
And there's another guy that looks like Kevboy Perry. There's another guy that looks like Kevboy Perry. So there's triplets. But he looks a lot more like Kevboy Perry than I do. Like, they're identical twins. Me and him would be like fraternal twins. Like, he looks like Kevboy Perry. I slightly resemble him.
You just have the part.
It's just the part, but my hair, the other guy's hair looks more like it. I need less hair. If I have less hair in the back and the sides, I could actually pull off more of a Kevboy Perry hair. But right now, it's not doing that. I only kind of look like him.
So to backtrack to the skateboarding video.
Yeah.
Why do you think that one of all videos? Because that was it's so random. Like, it's like you've had so many ones that are actually like not to say that one is good, but that one was actually good. And then like ones that are actually good, and then that one is just like you guys skateboarding around. Like, nothing even happens. Like, you're just like throwing your phone around while you're skateboarding.
It was stupid. It wasn't funny. It was just an aesthetically pleasing, like, I don't even know. It just it's always the ones that you never expect to go big that go big. You try hard and nothing happens.
Exactly.
And then you do something, you're like, oh, let's just film a little stupid skateboard video, and boom, you've got 30,000 likes.
So Kieran's got 60,000, didn't it?
Something like that. It's like something like that. It might be, yeah.
But Kieran didn't gain as many followers along the way, did he?
I was first to hit 1,000. He hit 1,000 like a day later. But so he actually grew more because he had 75 followers and I had 250.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he went from 75 to 1,000.
Wait, he had 75 followers and he got on the For You?
I think so.
And also, it's funny because those were basically the same video and they both got on the For You.
They were the exact same video from different perspectives because we did like the e-boy, soft boy thing. Same video, different perspectives. And they were both like big within like a day. The next day we both had like thousands of likes and we were like, oh my God, what is happening? Yeah,
which is crazy. Also, talking about the Cowboy Perry video again, can we talk about how people were commenting that your video would show up, and then right as they scrolled, the Cowboy Perry video would show up?
So TikTok, I don't know what you're doing, but you're doing something funny and great, because I had all these comments. So basically what was happening was people would see my video that would talk about how I look like Kevboy Perry, and all the comments I get that say, you look like Kevboy Perry. I legit thought this was Kevboy Perry. Didn't realize this wasn't Kevboy Perry till I watched the video a second time. And, my favorite one is actually, you look like off-brand Kev, or you look like great value at Kevboy Perry.
Which is true.
It's so true. I'm like, I look like him for a second, and then you're like, wait, this is not Kevboy Perry.
You look like Kevboy Perry exactly if you like squinted your eyes really hard.
If you have to, your eyes have to be almost closed.
Or you have to be like just like scrolling.
Scrolling, you'd be like, oh shoot, was that Kevboy Perry?
Yeah, and you're like,
no, it's not. I really am off-brand Kevboy Perry. It's funny. But anyways, people would see my Kevboy Perry TikTok, and then they would scroll once, and one of Kevboy Perry's TikToks would be underneath it. And I had so many people saying that. So apparently it's being put on the For You page together. It's like linking my Kevboy Perry thing and then Kevboy Perry's video. So everyone's seeing these and going, whoa, what? So anyway, it was kind of funny. And then Kevboy Perry comments on it, and it's all like so apparently me and Kevboy Perry are siblings separated at birth. When's the reunion happening? I don't know.
So is the thing about your mom actually thinking you were Kevboy Perry true?
That happened. That is the true fact.
So can you explain that?
Well, Kevboy Perry posted a TikTok where he was in his prom suit. He's like in regular clothes, and he's like, these are gross. And then he jumps, and he's in his prom suit, and then he's like dancing around. And I was like, I should do that because I have my grad suit because I'm graduating. We'll get to that later. And I was like, so I'll like do the same thing. So I spent a freaking hour trying to sync everything up because TikTok has trouble making, you can't listen to the sound when you're duetting things. It's a whole other thing. I'm not going to get into that. I spent an hour trying to sync it and make it my movements exactly with Kevboy Perry's. And then I posted it, so I was in the exact same thing. I'm in my grad suit, whatever. As I was filming it, my mom walked into my room, and she was like, she looks at my phone, and she goes, is that you? And I'm like, no, Mom, that's Kevboy Perry. She's like, what? that totally looks like you. And I'm like, so that's the whole story. It's a really lame story, but I was filming a video where I was recreating one of his TikToks, and my mom walked in the room and looked at my phone and went, "Is that you?" And I was like, "What?"
So,
no.
yeah, even your own mother.
Even my own mom that's known me for my whole 17 years on this planet thought that I was Cowboy Perry, or thought that Cowboy Perry was me. That's saying something, I guess. But I don't even look like him that much. You have to, once you stare for more than like 2 seconds, you're like, that's not Cowboy Perry.
Yeah.
But it's like the first glance, hang on, is that him? Anyways.
So to bring back to graduating, you're going to be graduating this year, right?
I'm graduating in like 2 weeks. It's freaky.
Isn't that? So how do you feel about that? How do you feel about going into the real world as an adult? Like, I've known you for what 4 or 5 years now?
Yeah, I think so.
And you're no offense, but you're the least adulty person.
No, I'm
like,
very, like, I'm mature, but I'm also immature.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, when I can do what needs to be done when it like, I can be mature when it needs to happen, but I also am very like not stupid, but goofy.
Yeah,
I guess is the right word. And it still hasn't dawned on me. I think I'm just choosing to like suppress it in my mind that like, hey buddy, you're not going to go to grade school ever again. You're going to university. Mm-hmm. You're going to be in the real world. You're going to be an adult in like a couple months in November. So it hasn't really dawned on me yet. I think when I start, actually the last day of school is this Thursday, and I think that's really going to hit me. Like, I'm probably going to cry. And then it's also really going to hit me when I go up on stage and get my diploma and realize, holy crap, this is it.
Yeah, I think I suppress a lot of stuff. Like when like big events like that, nothing checks in until right happens.
Yeah.
Like even going to like a trip, let's say. I remember I was going to see like family in BC, and I wasn't like excited until I straight up got there, because nothing really checks in my mind until it happens. Yeah. So, also, do you have any friends that are like younger than you, or all your friends in your grade? Because I think most of your friends are in your grade, right?
All my friends are in my grade. I have a couple friends that are a year younger in grade 11. Mm-hmm. That I hang out with. What just happened there? Hang on, we might have a technical difficulty. Okay, I don't know if there's an awkward pause there, but we had a little bit of a technical difficulty. We are back. What were we talking about? Friends?
Yeah, we were talking about having friends.
I have friends in a younger grade. I don't really have anyone in grade 9 or 10, but I have grade 11 friends, a small group of them, and then most of my friends are all in grade 12.
Yeah, because it's a little different for me, because I'm in grade 10, and ever since even in grade school, all my friends were older than me. Like, usually 1 year, but when I went into grade 9, all my friends were in grade 12, basically. So, like, my grade 9 year was really good, because I had, like, a big group of grade 12 friends. And I never really had any friends in my grade, but with all my grade 12 friends, like it was such a good year, my grade 9 year. Like, even though I hate school, like it was still a really good year because I had people around me. But then they all left, and like, you know, I don't really talk to a lot of them as much anymore, which sucks. But yeah, it's different for me because like you've had all your friends going along with you the whole time. But like my biggest group of friends is the year older than me, and that's why I'm so scared for next year, because it's gonna be like, for me, it almost feels like my last year, because in my mind all my friends are my age, but all my friends are a year older than me, and like I'm literally like, what am I gonna do in my grade 12 year? Like I have like one good friend in my grade, and then a couple of friends in the year younger, and I'm like like, what am I gonna do? Because like I don't really like younger people that much. Like I have a couple younger friends, but like I don't know, I've always just hung out with the older kids, and like it's just gonna be so weird not having like any of my friends around. Yeah. Like, I remember my grade 8 year was pretty awful, because most of my friends were in the year older, and when they moved on to high school, it was awful because we didn't talk. Like, they basically, I thought they'd like left, basically. Like, I thought we were just kind of done. That's how life works. But like, we started hanging out again once I got back into high school. But like, I don't know. It's just weird thinking about how they're all leaving, and also again, like, all my friends becoming adults. Like, that's so weird. Like, I've known like my friend group I've known since grade 3. Like, I was in grade 3, so like I still see them as like grade 3s, and like one of my friends, he drives, and he drives us a lot, and whenever he's driving, sometimes I'm like, what the fuck, like, this kid, how did this happen? How did we go from here? How did we get here? Like, I feel that I'm starting, like, I can drive now, and like it was even weird being, but it also, once I could drive, I felt this like for a while I felt like I just felt so young
for a while. And then once I got my driver's license, there's like this weird thing that happened in my brain where I was like, I'm old now. And like I felt like more of an adult, which I'm pretty close to being an adult. I don't know. It was just a weird thing that happened. It just like clicked in my brain. I was like, whoa, I'm like driving by myself. I can like go places. There's so much more freedom. And like, yeah, I don't know.
Well, yeah, because you live like across the town from me.
Yeah.
You live like out of the town basically.
I'm like on the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess it gives you a lot more freedom, especially because since you live kind of almost disconnected from the major city.
Yeah, I'm like
you could get
way
anywhere
out there.
now,
yeah.
basically. Like I haven't got my, I could have got my license, like my learners, in last June.
Really?
Because my birthday's January 1st.
Oh, wait.
So my friends were like growing up, they're always like, oh, Ethan, you're going to be the first to get your license. Like you can drive us around. And now all my friends have their learners and then slowly coming towards getting their license. I haven't got my learners yet.
You haven't got your learners yet?
I haven't got my learners yet.
Ethan.
I know. It's kind of bad, but I know I haven't had like the motivation to because I actually enjoy busing. Maybe I'm crazy. I like busing.
I don't mind it.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I like listening to music on the bus and stuff, so
Fair
I
enough.
like just on the bus. So I don't really have like a will to like really like. Some people are like, oh, I just want to get out of the house. Like I hate.
Yeah.
Like my family's great and like
Yeah, you get rides
So
places.
I have like no really need to like get out of the house.
That's
a
fair.
lot.
That's fair. I mean, yeah, that makes sense then.
And also, I don't mind walking. Like, me and my friends are kind of crazy. So we like walking just, like, aimlessly, basically.
Fair enough.
And we have this thing where we like walking our friends home because we're kind of crazy. And there was a couple nights ago where I was convinced. Every time I go on these walks with my friends, when they convince me, I'm always like, I'm not going to do it. Like, halfway through, I hit a point where I'm like, let's just turn around. Like, this is awful. Because it was like 45 minutes in, and we're like 45 minutes away from my house, and it's like 12:30. And I'm like, I'm so tired. I want to go home. And then there's like a point where I just like sit there and I'm like in silence. And then my friends are like, wait. And then I'm like, fine, let's go. And then I just go like kick myself like 5 minutes, and then we go.
And you just go for it.
Yeah, but walking's nice, but my feet hurt always because of my friends, basically.
I bike a lot. I bike places a lot.
I don't bike because in grade 8, I was going full speed to my friend's house, right, on my BMX. Mm-hmm. And then I don't know what happened, but I think it was the crank broke and my bike just went full stop. Like everything, all the wheels, like it felt like my brakes, like it felt like I just went like this and like I slammed my brakes. Yeah. But I didn't. So I was going full speed, so I flung over my handlebars, like 2 pavement things away, face planted. I wasn't wearing a helmet because I'm smart. It sounds like stupid, but I wasn't wearing a helmet, so I face planted. And I get up and like I'm like in a haze, like I'm like. I don't know, because I'm looking at my hands and they're like thrashed. Like I actually have a couple scars on my hands still from it because they were so deep, and my face was like out to like here. Like no lie, my mom when I showed up, she was freaked out. Like because my face out here because I had braces. So when I face planted, my lip went into my braces. Yeah. So the swelling immediately happened, and like I was in a haze, so I immediately got up and was like, I'm fine. I'm just gonna keep going. So then 2 cars stopped. That's how bad it looked. 2 cars stopped off the street. Like one stopped going this way, like the opposite direction of me, and one stopped, and it was this old couple, and they're like, are you okay? Oh my god! And I'm like, I'm just gonna keep going, and they're like, no. Oh my god! And they're like, so they take me, they like throw my bike in the back of their car, and I wasn't too far away from my house, so they just turned around and drove me to their house, my house, I mean, and my mom was in utter disarray because I'm like. Oh my god, it was awful.
No, jeez.
And I remember getting home, and like after the shock had worn off, I remember going to my bathroom and like just going like this, like just pulling my lip out. Yeah. And just because my whole lip was stuck in my braces.
Oh, that's so gross.
I didn't feel it because I was in like shock.
Right.
Like, I remember for a while I think I can still feel like a bit of like scar tissue all there because it was like a whole rip.
That's the worst.
But like speaking of bike, you have a bike story.
I have a fun bike story. Yeah. You know what? I was run over by a delivery truck last summer. I
shouldn't be laughing, but
I'm laughing, so it's okay. I'm sorry if my friends are watching this podcast. They're probably rolling their eyes, going, "Oh my god, this story again? Here we go." Because I tell this story all the time, just because it's funny. It's a good conversation starter. I just go, hey, I was run over by a truck. I was run over by a delivery truck.
Like the big
ones. Yeah, the big delivery trucks, like the mail delivery trucks. And I was biking with my friend last year, and we came to a pedestrian corridor, which are those crosswalks with where you hit the button and then the lights flash up above. So it's like, hey, you have to stop for these pedestrians. So then the first lane of traffic came to a stop, and we were like, all right, it's safe to go because there's no one in the second lane. Well, the plot twist is that there was someone in the second lane. It was a delivery truck, and he was not paying attention, and me and my friend started to go, and then he blew through the pedestrian corridor, hit the both of us at probably good 50 or 60 kilometers an hour. So that's fun. We got carried a good way down the road, and then he swerved up onto the curb, onto the boulevard or whatever.
Were you on the front of the truck, basically? Like,
yeah.
Really?
Well, I was a little bit behind my friend, so he actually got the full front of the truck.
What happened to him? He broke a couple.
He broke his collarbone and his wrist, his left collarbone, because that's where the truck hit us.
Which is crazy. That's awful. Like
oh yeah, both, and it was his left collarbone and his right wrist. So he was
Could he get up?
Well, the adrenaline's still pumping.
Oh yeah.
So he was able to stand up and oh yeah, we're fine.
Okay, didn't you want to go get ice cream?
Yeah, because we called his mom, and I called my dad too. Or actually, I called my dad later. But we called his mom. And we were like, "Hey, so we just got hit by a truck. We're okay though. Like everything's okay. We're a little sore, but I think we're gonna be all right." And then his mom was like, "Oh yeah, we'll just that's okay. I'm glad you guys are okay. We'll come pick you up. We'll throw your bikes in the back of the truck, and we'll just go get some ice cream or something." And I was talking on his phone because his wrist was in immense pain. We found out about 2 minutes later it was very broken. When I looked at his wrist, he was going, "Oh, my wrist really hurts." Because the delivery truck driver was like, "Oh, are you guys okay? Oh, I'm so sorry. And he was like, "Yeah, my wrist kind of hurts a little bit." And then I looked down at his wrist, and it is literally bent.
Oh my god!
And I was going, "Okay, yeah, that's broken. Yeah. So yeah, you broke your wrist, man." And then his shoulder was also hurting, which ended up being his broken collarbone, which sucks because it was his left collarbone and his right wrist, which means that he was crippled in both arms.
Oh my god,
so for half the summer, he had a cast and a sling on both arms. Luckily, I didn't break anything. I'm pretty sure I thought I broke some ribs. I was bruised immensely down the left side of my body, so I couldn't move.
Did you bruise your ribs? Is that what it was?
I bruised my ribs. I didn't break any, but I definitely thought I did because the slightest bit of breathing in caused me a lot of pain. No. So all my ribs were, if not, because they weren't broken because we did an X-ray, but they were definitely bruised pretty hard. And then all done, like my hip was bruised and my ankle, everything on the left side of my body where the truck hit us, everything was bruised. And then I had whiplash on the right side. So I walked around for a solid week with my shoulder tucked up against my cheek because if I let it drop, there's so much tension here. Mm-hmm. So I just kept it up here. So I had to turn all my shoulders to turn my head. I couldn't turn my neck. So that was fun.
But you guys are lucky because going that fast, you could have been thrown under the truck.
Oh yeah, we could have. But it also, I think yeah, we could have.
And what did the guy say? He said he was looking at construction workers?
He was looking at construction workers on to his right, and he was going, "Oh shoot, I hope I don't hit those construction workers." So he's looking that way. But he wasn't looking ahead of him where the crosswalk was, which is unfortunate.
Because you got hit.
Because we got hit. So then, a few minutes later, we started the adrenaline starts wearing off, and we're like, "Oh, we're in pain now." So by the time my friend's mom had got there, hoping to take us for ice cream, the ambulance is already here, and we were getting into the ambulance, and I had to call my dad and tell him that I was in an ambulance because I got hit by a truck, and he started panicking. It was a good time though, but the scariest the scariest thing was after we got hit, I stood up, and then I looked over at my friend, and he was stumbling over to me, and there was absolutely no color in his face.
Oh my god!
It was gray, and I was like, I look like I'm looking at a dead body right now, and it scared me. I think I looked the same, but I couldn't see myself. But his lips there was no color in his lips, and I was like, I've never seen this before. I'm terrified. And then I was very lightheaded, and I had a big abrasion on my shoulder blade, so it was I couldn't do anything with my left arm because any pulling with my left arm used the muscles back here, and so my whole my shoulder blade was messed, and then my ribs. But
they repaid you by giving you $1,000 to Sport Check.
We got $1,000 gift card to Sport Check, which is why I'm sporting this fancy Apple Watch. if you're listening to the podcast, you can't see it, but if you're watching it on YouTube, you can see it right now. I'm flexing it.
Where we all make fun of you.
Everyone makes fun of me for having an Apple Watch because I think they're just jealous.
Okay, and we're back. Sorry.
Another technical difficulty.
My camera keeps breaking. I don't know why.
I don't know what's going on there. I think it just hits a maximum recording and it shuts off.
Yeah, probably. But the camera shouldn't have the maximum. It shouldn't have a maximum recording. It's the camera.
Mine does.
Oh, what is it?
It's like half an hour or something.
Oh.
But that's not happening.
Yeah, I hope we haven't been talking for like 2 hours.
Oh, God. Can you imagine?
I don't think anyone would be listening still.
No one. Everyone's gone. No one even hears this part of the episode.
Yeah. So, speaking of cameras, we work at a film school, right?
We work at a film school. That's true.
When did you start doing it?
I started 6 years ago, I think, when I was in grade 7.
Oh, I thought you meant working at film school 6 years ago. I'm like, oh.
Oh, no.
Like,
I've been going to the film school for 6 years is when I discovered it. That was in grade 7. I'm in grade 12 now. I'm almost finishing my 12th year. I was in grade 7, so that's 5 years ago, but basically I'm coming up on my 7th year this October.
And then I joined, and then that's when I met you, like 5 years ago.
Something like
4
that.
years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
And so we both do acting.
We are actors.
We're actors, and
also do behind the scenes stuff like filming and editing.
But we both do like on set stuff as well. Like we both don't just do acting stuff. Like you were like, what have you done recently?
Well, I'm I did a movie. Also, this is all small role stuff. I've never got like a major role. Mm-hmm. I did a movie, and then I did that earlier or end of last year, and then currently I am doing a little bit of stuff in a couple episodes on a TV series that's shooting here. So that's fun. Mm-hmm. So I do. Yeah, I'm acting in like legitimate things that film in our city, and then I also work on my own little things and cinematography and that kind of stuff. So
yeah, and I do acting as well. And I haven't done a lot. I do mostly like I've done a couple of commercials, and I did one movie, which is weird because I did one movie and it was with Adam Beach. Do you know Adam Beach is?
I think yeah.
Yeah, he was in it. But he's really nice. But I did that movie in grade, I want to say 8 or 7, and it's still not out.
Really?
Yeah, like I said, so they paid me, like everything's fine, like everything. It was really fun because we got to film on an island. For like I'd go back and forth. It was in Ontario, and they drive us out there. So I remember waking up at like 2 a.m., getting out of my house and being half asleep, and they're like taking us out there. And I was like, just sleep on the ride. And then we got to meet all the people and we talked the whole time. And it's 2 a.m. and then we get there and then we have to film in the morning. It was awful, but
wow.
It was really fun because it was like on an island. They boat you out every morning. Like,
yeah.
You would either you could stay on the island. Like some people stayed on the island. It was a fishing lodge, and then some people would stay on like a campground type thing, like across the kind of lake, because this island was in the middle of the lake. And every morning they boat us out, and I remember how cool that was. Like,
yeah,
just every morning.
That would be so fun.
Out. Yeah, it was really cool. But it was kind of a shit show.
Fair enough.
Like nothing. I remember so many people were just like running around with their heads cut off. There was this one guy. His name was Clark. I don't even know what he did. Like he kind of he was like a wrangler of everything. Like he would just run around. He was the last one to eat. He was the last one to go to sleep always. And like I felt so bad for him because like thinking back, so there's a co-star on it. She was like my age. She was really nice. Her name is Emma. I remember just us. So you had to go to, you know how you I don't know if you've been on set long enough to do on school set.
Oh yeah.
But you have to get a certain amount of school every day if you're on set.
Yep.
And basically, I remember literally Clark chasing me and her through this island because we didn't want to go to school, and we're like sprinting around, and it was the funniest thing to me. But now thinking back, I feel so bad because the dude was probably so tired.
Yeah,
and he
like,
always is running around like a chicken with his head cut off.
You're trying to get things done on a set, and if the kids are sprinting around not doing what they're supposed to be, that's annoying.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple things that I don't know. I feel bad for because it was made by the Adam Beach Film Studio.
Okay.
But it never has been released, but I don't know if it ever will because it had it like was at a film festival in Toronto, I want to say. No, San Francisco.
Oh.
But in the thing it said it wasn't done.
Oh, that's
so
weird.
I'm like, why are you showing it if it's not done?
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. It's just weird to me because I'd really like to see it because it'd be cool to see, but it'd be weird now because I remember how young I looked. Like I remember looking back at those pictures sometimes and I'm like, oh my God. But that was pre-emo Ethan.
Right.
It was pre-big,
but
hair.
the long
so
hair.
I had like really short hair. Like not like up, but I had like, it was like, I remember they had to cut my hair and I like, every time I do something, they always want to cut my hair.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was younger, I'd always cry. Because I loved having long hair.
Yeah.
Like I remember I was in Peter Pan, a play, in grade 6, and they cut my hair, and I literally cried.
Yeah.
And the lady felt so bad. She brought Lindt chocolate out of her purse and like gave it to me because she's like, I've never had anyone cry after a haircut. Like, and it wasn't like she barely took anything off. Too.
Yeah, but you were just that. I feel that. I had a traumatizing haircut in grade 9. And that's actually why my hair gets so long now, because I'm scared to cut it.
Oh, yeah?
But it was really bad. Like, I told the guy what I wanted, and then he was like, no, I'm going to do it like this. This is cooler. No. And I was like, I was in grade 9.
What was it?
Well, it was just like, it was like super short, and there was like more hair on one side, so like came over. And it was like, it was very like hip and cool, but that's not the hair that I ever have. I'm not hip and cool. I do my own thing, you know? So like it like scarred me, and so that's why you can find grade 11 last year. You'll find the longest hair I've ever had. It was really gross and long. It actually wasn't
the Steve hair.
The Steve hair, yeah. Steve Harrington
like
from
Steve
Stranger Things.
Yeah.
It only looked gross because I put a lot of product in it, but I put a lot of product in it because it was hard to like make it look good. So it was just a mess overall. But I don't mind having long hair. But yeah, I grew it out really long last year for my play, The Outsiders, because I was Pony Boy. So I had to grow out the long like greaser hair and like slick it back. That's why it got so long last year.
I hope you didn't wear it like that out and about. Just
I might have.
Oh no.
No, maybe not. I think because it was just an evening show. I never had to. Yeah, but then it was pretty short this year for a play because I was also in Peter Pan. I did Peter Pan as well, but our Peter Pan was Peter Pan, kinda.
Oh yeah, I didn't get to see that, but
yeah, it was pretty good. I can send you a link to it. We basically did a comedy where it was like a play within a play, and it was a group of high school kids trying to put on Peter Pan, but everything goes wrong. And like the sets fall apart, people forget their lines, there's like grudges with people, so they're like trying to actually kill each other. So it's all scripted, but it's supposed to look like it's not scripted, and we're all like actually messing up. So it was a comedy of Peter Pan where everything that could possibly go wrong goes wrong. And that was a good way to end off my drama career in high school.
When I did Peter Pan, actually, Captain Hook was Fred Penner. I got to work with Fred
Really?
Penner, which was the coolest experience of my life. And he was so funny. I remember one time on stage, it was one of the weirdest moments on stage because I remember like building up. Like this was, I don't know, because I was pretty young, so like grade 6. So I remember them always telling me, they're like, never break character. Like it's so bad to break character. Like always just stay as it. And this little girl is the funniest thing. It was the final battle between Captain Hook and Peter Pan.
Yeah.
And this little girl who showed up like 3-4 times to play is the cutest thing. She'd always dress up as Tinkerbell. It's the cutest thing. But she just goes, "Go Peter!" And then Fred Penner just looks at her and goes, "Don't pick sides." And everyone started laughing, like on stage and off stage. And it was just a solid like 2 or 3 minutes of laughing. It was one of the final shows, and it was like the best thing.
That's so funny.
I'd always do that like kind of play thing again.
Yeah.
I love being on set. It's such a cool experience, and it really brings you out of your own life.
I agree.
Like it makes you feel like, I don't know, like you're actually doing something good with your life.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's good, right?
I think so.
So thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. If you're still listening, or if you ever listen, there could be 0 people watching this. I feel like the end of that. Lots of this was a little bit of just like get to know Carter and Ethan. That last little bit about our film stuff was less of like, I guess there were some fun stories in there, but it was all like get to know us. Maybe we'll try some new stuff next time if there's a next time. I hope there's a next time. I'm just rambling now.
All right. Well, thanks for listening. This has been the first episode, and hopefully we'll do this again.
Hopefully we do a lot more throughout the summer. So yeah. All right. Peace out, my dudes. I don't know why I said that. Goodbye.
Bye.